SpaceX is not making its biggest money from rockets. That may sound strange because SpaceX is famous for Falcon 9, Starship, and the dream of going to Mars. But the real cash engine behind SpaceX today is Starlink. And now the next growth engine could be AI compute. So today, let's look at SpaceX not just as a rocket company, but as a space infrastructure company that is moving into communications and AI. And for Tesla investors, this matters more than many people think. Good morning, everyone. This is Ken. When people talk about SpaceX, they usually focus on rocket launches, Starship tests, NASA missions, or Elon Musk's Mars vision. Of course, those are important, but from an investor's point of view, the more important question is this: where is the money coming from? Because big dreams need big cash flow, and this is where SpaceX becomes very interesting. Based on reported IPO-related numbers, SpaceX's 2025 revenue is estimated at around $18.7 billion. But the surprising part is that rockets are not the main business anymore. A large part of SpaceX's revenue now comes from connectivity, mainly Starlink. So the real story is not just SpaceX launches rockets. The real story is SpaceX uses rockets to build infrastructure and then monetizes that infrastructure through Starlink. That is a very different business model. Let's break SpaceX down into three parts. First, connectivity. This is mainly Starlink. It is the biggest and most important revenue engine. Second, space. This includes Falcon 9 launches, NASA missions, commercial satellites, and defense contracts. This is still extremely important, but it is not the whole story. Third, AI compute. This is still emerging, but it could become the next major pillar. So when I look at SpaceX, I do not see only a rocket company. I see a company with rockets, global internet, defense infrastructure, and potentially AI computing power. That combination is very powerful. The most important part today is Starlink. Starlink is not just satellite internet. From an investor's perspective, Starlink is a global subscription business. That means recurring revenue. People and businesses pay every month to stay connected. And SpaceX has a big advantage here. It builds the satellites, it launches them with its own rockets, and it sells the service directly to customers. Most telecom companies need massive ground infrastructure. They need towers, cables, local partnerships, and years of build out. Starlink is different. It creates a communications network from space. Of course, there are still costs, regulations, and competition. But once the network grows, the business can become very sticky. That is why Starlink is so important. It gives SpaceX something that rocket launches alone cannot provide: recurring cash flow. And that cash flow can support Starship, Mars, and future infrastructure projects. Now, here is where the story becomes even more interesting. SpaceX may not stop at connectivity. The next pillar could be AI compute. AI needs enormous computing power. It needs GPS, data centers, electricity, networking, and fast data movement. In the AI era, compute is becoming one of the most valuable resources in the world, and SpaceX already has something very important: a global communications network. At the same time, Elon Musk has xAI. Tesla is developing FSD, Robotaxi, Optimus, and its own AI systems. So AI compute is not just a random new business. It could become part of the larger Elon Musk ecosystem. Starlink connects the world. AI compute could power intelligence across that network. That is the big picture. Now, why should Tesla investors care? Because Tesla's future is not only about selling more cars. Tesla's long-term value depends on FSD, Robotaxi, Optimus, energy, and AI. And all of these businesses need some combination of compute, data, connectivity, and infrastructure. Think about Robotaxi. If Tesla wants to scale autonomous driving across cities, suburbs, and eventually more difficult regions, reliable connectivity becomes more important. Think about Optimus. If humanoid robots move into factories, logistics, homes, or disaster areas, communication and cloud intelligence could become important. And think about FSD. Training and improving AI models requires huge amounts of data and compute. Tesla has Dojo, but in AI, more compute is almost always an advantage. So if SpaceX, xAI, and Tesla are moving closer together at the infrastructure level, investors should pay attention. This is not about saying SpaceX is Tesla. They are separate companies, but the technologies may reinforce each other, and that is the key point. This is also why I think Elon Musk companies often follow the same pattern. First, they enter through hardware. Tesla started with electric cars. SpaceX started with rockets. Then, they use that hardware to build infrastructure. Tesla is building charging networks, energy systems, AI data, and autonomy. SpaceX built rockets, then used them to deploy Starlink. And finally, they try to monetize through software, subscriptions, AI, or network services. Tesla has FSD, Robotaxi, insurance, energy software, and potentially Optimus. SpaceX has Starlink and possibly AI compute next. So the pattern is very similar. Hardware is the starting point, infrastructure is the moat. Software and AI become the long-term monetization layer. That is the part many investors miss. Now, does this mean rockets are no longer important? No. Rockets are still the foundation. Without Falcon 9, Starlink would be much harder to build. Without reusable rockets, SpaceX would not have the same cost advantage. And if Starship succeeds, SpaceX could launch much larger payloads at much lower cost. That could make Starlink bigger, faster, and more powerful. So rockets are not disappearing from the story. They are the tool that makes the whole infrastructure possible. But the profit pool may increasingly come from what rockets enable, not just from the launch itself. That is the difference. So here is my conclusion. SpaceX is no longer just a rocket company. It is becoming a communications and AI infrastructure company. Starlink is the current cash engine. AI compute could become the next growth engine. And rockets are the foundation that makes both possible. For Tesla investors, the important lesson is this. Do not look at Tesla in isolation. Look at the broader Elon Musk ecosystem. Tesla, SpaceX, xAI, Starlink, Robotaxi, and Optimus may become more connected over time than the market currently understands. And if that happens, the real value may not come from one company alone. It may come from the infrastructure connecting all of them. So let me ask you, where do you think SpaceX's real value is? Rockets, Starlink, or AI compute? Please let me know in the comments. If this video helped you understand Tesla and the Elon Musk ecosystem from a long-term investor perspective, please hit the like button. And if you want daily analysis on Tesla, AI, SpaceX, and the world ahead, make sure to subscribe to Life in the Future. Thank you for watching, and let's keep enjoying life with Tesla. Before we wrap up, let me take a moment to introduce myself. I drive a Tesla Model Y, and at home, I've installed a Tesla Powerwall, so I actually charge my car with solar energy. I truly believe Tesla is shaping the future, and that's why I share the latest news and insights here on this channel. I'm from Japan, but I want to connect with Tesla fans all around the world. That's why I also create an English version of my videos. YouTube now lets you switch the audio into your own language, so you can enjoy it in whatever language you prefer. Most of all, I'd love to connect with Tesla fans everywhere so we can support Tesla together. I also share updates on X, So feel free to follow me there and let's connect. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.